I've said this before and I'll say it again.
What?
In a horror movie, you die first.
Dear Shandy. Welcome back to your Dear Shandy sidebar listeners. Hello, Andy.
Hello.
How are you today?
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
I am feeling good.
Yeah.
We saw a good movie last night.
I know nothing puts Andy in a good mood like a good movie.
It is true. I love the movies.
Andy
but
loves
I don't like the movies of late. They are very far and few between that I enjoy.
Yes. Well, because they're becoming more and more like
Garbage.
Yeah,
we talked about it, PG-13. And I'm going to we're going to discuss this.
Yeah.
PG-13 ruined movies, number one. And Marvel also ruined movies. And that's so interesting because the movie we saw last night, the director, Ryan Coogler, also directed a Marvel movie.
Yes.
He directed Black Panther. I will say that the movie we saw last night couldn't have been less Marvel.
Okay.
It did what all Marvel movies should strive to do, which is be actual art, which is be something that you care about.
Make a choice.
Take risks, have balls.
Be rated R.
Be rated R. And actually just be an actual piece of art.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. This guy, this Coogler, this is another collaboration with Michael B. Jordan. He's done like 5 movies with this guy.
Okay, the movie is Sinners.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Sinners. Go see it.
Sinners. This guy went into the studio and he said, I got a period piece vampire movie. And they're like, great. What is it? 90 minutes, get the vampires going like 20 minutes in and just a bunch of killing and blood and then we're done? And PG-13?
Yeah, but don't give too much away, but yeah.
Okay, no, I'm just saying PG-13. And he's like, no. R, it's going to be 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's going to take an hour and a half before you see vampires.
Don't tell people
No, sorry. I'm spoiling everything. Maybe, I don't know.
No, it was a fantastic character development. It's also part musical.
He went into the studio. He said, I've got something for you. I've got an R-rated movie. And the studio's like, okay, so basically you're costing us $50 million right off the top.
Why is that? Why does it cost? Because people can't bring their kids?
Yes, you're shutting it off to so many people.
Really?
PG-13, everybody comes. Everybody comes. R, no. No one makes R-rated movies anymore. You know who makes R-rated movies now? Scorsese, maybe. Even Scorsese sells out on the PG-13 sometimes. R-rated movies. He said, for me to make this movie the way I want to make it, to make this art, this guy, this director, it has to be R. And the studio's like, well, it's going to cost us like, half of $100 million. He's like, no, it's going to be R. It's going to be R. It's going to be very long. It's going to bend 9 different genres. It was a period piece. It was a comedy. It was a thriller. It was a horror movie. It was a musical.
Yes.
It was a romance.
Yes. It was fantastic.
And it was rated R.
And I had dreams about it last night.
I did too.
And I almost cried.
You did cry.
I teared up. I teared up.
How many horror movies has your wife or girlfriend teared up at? This was, I am telling, I want to make it clear. I have found that mainstream movies over the last 10 years have absolutely sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, sucked beyond compare. And I've been going to movies since God knows how long ago. It's been a long time. I don't want to say the year, but you give away some
man,
stuff.
you love going to movies. It's really sweet, actually. Andy loves it. It brings him so much joy. You're always trying to convince me to go to movies.
I know. But
you had to convince me to go to this one.
I am very selective. We only go to good movies. When was the last time I took you to a movie that wasn't good?
It's true. Andy does a lot of vetting.
I do
and
research.
And by vetting, I mean there's a lot of scrolling through Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes, I do a lot of research. But this movie is the first mainstream movie I have seen in many years that is not completely castrated, cut off at the knees. This guy went into the studio and he said, I'm going to lose you money. You are going to lose money on this. And you're going to like it.
Do you think that they're going to lose money on this movie?
It's not going to make the money that Black Panther made. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Black Panther, Marvel,
it had a lot
PG-13.
of... Yeah.
That's guaranteed $300 million. This movie he cost the studio more money than you will ever see for generations.
I think if you're a music person too, this movie will speak to you.
The music is absolutely amazing. They got Buddy Guy. But Buddy Guy, arguably the greatest blues guitarist of the last 50 years.
Okay, you keep spoiling things, Andy. Stop spoiling things. Just go see Sinners. What are we going to rate this movie?
This is the best Michael B. Jordan performance. I know people, Creed and this. Forget about it. Fruitvale Station was great, though. That was his breakout.
Are we giving this a 9? What are we giving this?
This was Michael B. Jordan's greatest performance. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
Creed, I didn't care for. Don't care.
I didn't see Creed.
Whatever. It's fine. It's very formulaic, but it's fine. It was fine. He did well in it.
Yeah.
But this is his best performance. This is a great movie that you get to see a mainstream movie that's great. Like in the old, like 50 years ago, they used to make movies like this. This is the best piece of mainstream art I have seen in memory. Go see Sinners.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, Andy. So 9?
I don't know if I can on it. Yeah, I mean 9 because I don't think in 20 years I'm gonna remember this movie. Oh, should I ruin my whole like Henry V speech there? By that I mean I don't think it's gonna I'm not gonna wake up in the middle of the night 20 years from now and be like, oh wow, that's Sinners movie. But 5 years from now, I will.
Okay, so we highly recommend. This wasn't sponsored. It sounds
no, it
sponsored.
should be.
I gotta say, I'm proud of us for sticking with our once a quarter movie in the theater.
Anytime, this is the deal. Ready? Last night I said I want to go see this movie, and when I say I want to go see a movie, I've done so much.
Wait,
research.
Is this an I told you so?
It's
now?
an I told you so.
I smell an I told you so.
It's a pre I told you so.
This is not okay. I said if you want to see a movie, you have to make it happen. Meaning, you find the movie time, you get us out of the house, because otherwise I was going to putter around and get shit done.
You were dragging your feet. You weren't committing. You weren't committing.
2 hours and 20 minutes is a big commitment.
When I
if you don't love it.
From now on, this is the deal. When I say I want to see this movie tonight, you just accept because I know it's going to be good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a question about this then, because you said that every girlfriend you've ever had felt similarly, meaning she didn't necessarily want to go to the movies with you.
No.
Like she kind of dragged her feet.
Well, I had one girlfriend who had phobia of movies because she was always worried she'd have to pee in the middle.
I mean, I had to pee for like half of this movie.
Really? You've gotten much better at holding your pee, I've noticed.
Oh, why? Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, about halfway through, I was like, oh, crap. But about halfway through is when it was starting to get really good. And I was like, ugh.
You know what? I've always wanted a wife who could hold her pee.
Was that the goal?
Yeah.
That was the dream?
Yeah. It really comes in handy.
You know, I will say one time I did go to Paris with a girlfriend. Like we met up in Paris and spent 3 days there just like shopping and dining and having like a real like girly girls trip in Paris. And she drank so much water and had to pee so frequently that I secretly got a little bit annoyed.
Yeah.
So I kind of know what you mean. Like it was actually a problem. Like on the hour, it was like we needed to find a place for her to go pee. And I'm like, couldn't you drink less water? Like why is it?
Or just hold it. Just deal with it.
Or
your bladder is built to hold an enormous amount of liquid.
And Paris is not quite like New York. Like in New York, I know exactly where to go to pee. Like that's a thing. That's a thing, but also right? Does Paris, everyone here know that?
Most women, I think, women are on top of the public bathroom.
Don't say most
game.
Women in.
Women are 100% better at knowing where bathrooms are in New York City than men. There's no question.
Because they have a harder time holding their pee.
I believe.
Or maybe they're just better hydrated.
Women have smaller bladders. What's going on with that?
I don't know.
They're just more pee happening?
I think that we're more in touch with the feeling of it. Like,
so you don't like discomfort?
I don't like discomfort. I don't want to live in discomfort.
I think men are more willing to just deal with minor discomfort.
Yes. Like when I have to pee, when I'm cold, I feel colder. When I'm hot, I feel hotter. Every step I take, it's not like I feel like I'm carrying it. Like it's awful. Like I just want to get it out. And then I'm like nice and like spry again, you know?
Yeah,
anyway.
Well, that's great.
So Andy, in today's sidebar, we're talking about more random stuff.
All right.
We are talking about, we'll briefly touch on White Lotus season 3 because it's old news now. But I still think people are still watching the final episodes and we're not going to go into detail, but do you want to talk about it?
White Lotus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the worst of the 3 and still very good.
Yeah. Including the opening theme song.
Opening theme song was a little weak.
It was the worst of the 3, but still pretty good.
Still better than most other stuff.
Yes.
It's not like a true detective level drop off.
Yeah.
But it's a significant drop off. I think it was a big loss not having what's her name? Oh,
Jennifer Coolidge. Yeah, but Parker Posey.
She was good.
Parker Posey was
great.
Was good. I mean, she got good, like real laugh out loud moments. You know, that is an art. Being that, not only that type of actor, but that type of actress, you know, you call them all actors now, but you know, a female comedienne who defines a genre of comedy and acting. Do you know how hard that is to do?
Yeah.
Jennifer Coolidge, Parker Posey, like how many? I feel like we could count it on one hand, like maybe Tina Fey, but even Tina Fey doesn't really do it.
You're right.
Who else does that? Maybe Rachel Dratch, SNL.
What Parker Posey did, she made what she did look easy.
Yeah.
But it's unbelievably difficult.
Yes.
And speaking of Parker Posey was the comic relief of this season. And my biggest beef, I had a lot of minor beefs, but to get to focus on my biggest beef was that the ending, unlike the first two seasons, wasn't funny. There was no comedy in the ending.
Yeah.
I felt it was too serious. Took itself a little too seriously.
I agree. And I feel like that was partly because, there was like a spiritual meaning. Like this was definitely the most spiritual season of White Lotus. And I see what he was going for, like especially between Rick and Chelsea, like him fighting the darkness and her being the hope. And, there's symbolism there, and we can all succumb to our darkness, or you can just accept what is and move on. So I understand like the theme, but I also think in spirituality, it's important to have a sense of humor and not take yourself too seriously. Otherwise, it all just becomes very like fraught. And heavy and like meaningful. And I feel like I agree with you. I felt like the season was pretty funny until the end. It was sad. Yeah. Just sad. Yeah. And I'm not saying sad can't be meaningful, but it was like a tone shift for me, the finale. Right. It also felt rushed. Like I felt like we needed another episode. Ran out of time. Yes.
They ran out of time.
It felt like
trying to wrap it up.
Yeah. It felt like Apple TV, Apple Plus,
TV.
Apple
What
TV?
is Apple Plus?
I don't know.
It used to be called Apple Plus.
Just Apple.
Just Apple.
Yeah. It felt like they bought 8 episodes or whatever, and so they, he was, I don't know, building all these characters and making all these side stories, and suddenly was like, okay, we have to wrap it.
Yeah, I agree, and I did think it was a little heavy-handed too. The symbolism I liked. I liked the messages. A little heavy-handed.
Yeah,
but it was how the father ended up being the one guy who really found enlightenment.
Oh, Ratliff. Yeah,
that was unexpected. Yeah, okay.
Tim.
Yeah, don't do it. Everyone's doing it.
Oh, really?
Everyone's done it. You
Can't, I can't do it. I can't do that accent.
I'm telling you, don't. Everyone's done it.
Piper. No. I cannot do a Southern accent.
Piper.
It sounds British.
Oh my God, it's horrible.
I literally cannot do a Southern. Should we try? Should we try?
I can try to do a Southern accent.
Oh, that's not bad.
I can do a Southern accent.
See, I can do a Canadian accent, eh?
Yeah, I can do a Canadian Southern accent. No, I can't do
what does that sound?
Bit off more than I could chew.
Okay, but so anyway, White Lotus still better than the average show by far.
And great
music.
Great coming out for Patrick Schwarzenegger in two ways. I mean, just one. Theatrically one, and in real life.
I've been enjoying following Patrick Schwarzenegger's career. We loved him in Staircase.
Let me tell you something. If you told me, and I didn't know anything, that Schwarzenegger's son was an actor, I'd be like, number one, nepotism. Number two, he's probably not that good. Yeah. And give me Terminator Redux or give me nothing. I don't want to see this guy.
His last name is Schwarzenegger. Yeah. There you go.
He was gifted this on a silver platter. No. That guy's got chops.
He does. And I would go as far as, you can tell he works on his craft too.
He's a better actor than his father. Better actor than his father.
Wasn't his mother also an actress?
She's a Kennedy.
Oh, yes. I learned this recently.
Got some good stock he comes from.
Isn't that amazing? She's a Kennedy.
That's it.
Can you imagine having the kind of name or like aura where you're just like, she's a Kennedy.
That's all you have to do. You can be
it's like she's a Rockefeller.
You can literally be a complete jackass as long as you have the last name Kennedy. They're like, oh yeah, he's
that is
serious.
A badass last name.
That's it. That is the most badass last name in America.
I gotta say, I always
Rockefeller and Kennedy, but you don't know how many Rockefellers do you know that are in the public eye?
None.
They exist, but you don't hear about them.
So what are we talking about today, Andy? On our sidebar?
I don't know. You tell me.
I have here the cost of juice. When you go to Joe and the Juice. I don't think that we need to talk about that because everyone knows how much juice costs
juice is
now.
Too much.
It seemed like a good idea when I took the note.
we could do a guessing game where we don't know what the Shandy's. We could just do a game where they guess.
Okay.
We give them some time and then we give the answer.
Okay. So we're gonna have people guess. I feel like New Yorkers are gonna do better with this.
Okay. So I got one juice and it wasn't.
No, it's two juices.
I got one juice. It was a green juice, nothing special.
Small.
About this big, you know, a good amount for one person, but nothing. You're not going to get really full.
Yeah, you got the small out of the 2 sizes.
Right. And I got a coffee shake.
Yes.
And this was at Joe and the Juice.
Joe and the
Should
Juice.
we tell them it's Joe and the Juice? Okay.
Yeah, Joe
Probably
and the
some
Juice.
people already know what the price is now.
Okay, so we're going to let you guess the cost of these 2 juices. Nothing more. Nothing more added on. Okay.
All right.
That's hard to harmonize.
Boom, boom. Cozy Earth is drifting through your doorway. It's grabbing your arms and grabbing your legs and stroking you all over your body. Cozy Earth is coming into your house tonight.
Cozy Earth started to sound a little sinister, Andy. But you know what? You are so swaddled by your Cozy Earth bed sheets when you sleep in them that you know it does feel like it's taking your hands and your legs.
You don't realize it, but after a long day, the difference between you blowing up and having a fit and you just dealing with it and being calm and watching your shows could be a soft towel. They call me Ad Reed Lou.
So Cozy Earth, what makes it so special is the products are made from viscose from bamboo, making them not only sustainable, but also super, super, super soft, yet also super, super, super durable and also breathable. So Andy's wearing the joggers right now. These are viscose from bamboo. They still look as good as the day we got them. You wear these all the time. Our bed sheets, they keep you warm when you're cold, yet cool when you're hot.
There's never been a sheet I've stuck with except for Cozy Earth.
Yeah.
In my whole life. It's always like I buy one sheet and I use it for a little bit. It gets stained. It gets ripped. I don't like it. I'm like, done. Next.
Yeah,
oh,
you
this
don't go
one's going to
back.
be the one. This one's going to be the
Yes.
one. Oh, this one has so many threads. Get Cozy Earth sheets or get a piece of sheet.
Good, I like that.
So luxury shouldn't be out of reach.
Go to CozyEarth.com and use our exclusive code Shandy to get up to 40% off Cozy Earth's best-selling towels, sheets, pajamas, and more.
Trust me, you won't regret it.
Again, that's CozyEarth.com code Shandy. And if you get a post-purchase survey, be sure to let them know that we, Dear Shandy, sent you.
Sanctuary awaits at Cozy Earth. So Charlene, guess what we're going to have this summer?
What?
Raspberries.
Raspberries?
Fresh rooftop raspberries.
From?
New York City.
From?
Fast growing trees.
The largest online nursery in the US. That's Fast Growing Trees. And they have everything. They have raspberry bushes, fruiting trees, flowering trees, citrus trees, privacy trees, houseplants, shrubs. I mean, I could go on. And accessories, by the way. Andy loves his hose.
Oh, such a hose.
You love your hose. You don't talk about your hose enough in our Fast Growing Trees, if I'm honest.
Well, you know what? I used to talk about hoses because they bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have conversations about hoses.
You're right.
Should be something that's not talked about.
Okay.
And this hose allows me to not have conversation about hoses.
Okay. Forget I brought up the hose. And what makes Fast Growing Trees extra cool is you can filter based on your zip code, so they will only show you results that will actually thrive, not only survive, but thrive where you live. And they come with an Alive and Thrive guarantee. They have plant experts that you can talk to, real humans, to get help with your plants in case you need it. And so you can pretend to be one of those people who have a green thumb. I think that having a green thumb is one of the coolest, like, mini talents you can have.
It's cool for you and your friends. It's good for the soul.
It's good juju. So this spring, Fast Growing Trees has the best deals for your yard, up to half off select plants and other deals.
Our Shandies get 15% off their first purchase when using code Shandy at checkout.
That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com when using code Shandy.
Fastgrowingtrees.com, code Shandy.
Now's the perfect time to plant. Use code Shandy to save today.
Offers valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. Dun, 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 boom, boom.
$26.
$26.
Oh, it's a shame we can't get a reaction. I feel like we should get a big like, oh.
When I was a little kid, speaking of the movies, you could take yourself and 5 people to the movies for that amount of money and still have something left over, maybe to get a small popcorn.
How much was the movie last night for both of us? Because you paid
$50. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah. But you know what? Last night was a $50 experience.
Last night was a theater. You know what it was? It was like going to the theater.
Yes.
It was the same level. You leave, you're like, I feel more cultured.
Yes.
I feel better. I feel
I got
taller.
something out of it. It's got me thinking. I had dreams about it.
Yeah. We're better people once we saw that movie last night.
100%. I mean, it moved me. How many things moved me? These juices didn't move me.
How many horror movies move you? No, okay, forget about that. We've talked enough about
all
Sinners.
I'm saying is that movie was worth $50 more than these 2 juices were worth $26.
Nothing was worth... Wait, nothing is worth... How do I say the thing I'm about to say?
Nothing is less worth than it costs than those 2 juices were.
I think that's right. Very nice.
I don't know.
Okay.
So next up here, Andy, I have, you declaring that half the cops you see are staring at their phones.
Do you disagree with me?
I mean, I have to admit, I've been noticing this.
I've literally done.
It just stresses me, honestly.
And this is prevalent throughout the whole city. This is not like I saw one cop staring at his phone. And I'm not talking about staring at his phone like he's like kind of looking around, like, you know, with one eye on the situations and one eye on his phone. I'm talking like fully like punched over zombie scrolling.
Yeah.
And I'll do this. I'll be walking on the street and I'll stare right in there. Like I'll stare at them and watch them, not in a weird way. I just want to see if they ever see that someone's looking right at them. And I'll just watch them and I'll stare at them and I'll walk by, and the whole time they don't even notice I'm there.
They're just I don't
know.
So
if I walked by with a gun, they wouldn't even notice. How is that legal? How is it legal for a cop who's doing a beat? It's called a beat, right? They're on the beat. Like a cop on the street who's just standing there is like supposed to be patrolling. Surveying. How is that legal? Why are they allowed to do that?
Why is it that students are not allowed the phones in their classrooms, which I totally agree with, by the way.
But a cop who's supposed to be like keeping the peace, making sure people don't get hurt or killed. It's just staring at social media.
Yeah, I agree.
And by the way, it is social media. I've looked. I've been able to look at their phone. That's how distracted they are. I can see what they're looking at without them knowing I'm there.
Oh my God.
Anyway, it's a problem.
They're on social media.
Social media.
God, when is it going to get...
Or some dumb text conversation.
When is it going to get outlawed? Do we sound like grumpy old fogies again?
I think it's a very simple request. I just want the people. First of all, we pay the highest taxes on planet Earth in New York City.
Do we pay the highest taxes in the country?
It's a rounding error between us and maybe, I don't know.
California?
Maybe LA. I don't know. I don't know the situation around the country. I just know that New York City is horrible.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not going to, the cops do a lot of good things. Like, you know, obviously there'd be lawlessness and it'd be insane without them.
Absolutely. And I think being a cop in New York City is a
tough job.
High stress.
It's a shitty job.
It is nonstop. You can tell by, you know how you can tell? Is by how jaded and brusque they are.
Yes.
Do you say brusque or brusque?
Brusque.
Yeah, brusque.
Brusque is
okay,
good.
I thought
Brusque
I said it right. I realize I don't say that word out loud very often.
Yeah.
But you know, they tend to be very gruff. That's the best word.
Yeah,
gruff.
surly.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then once in a while you run across a really sweet, nice cop, and you're like, oh, you're one of the good ones. But they're all good. I don't want to say they're all good. They're not all good.
They shouldn't be allowed their phones. It's not them. It's the rules.
It's a hard job. Some of them are bad. Some of them are good. Most of them are just waking up at 8 a.m. and going to work and just doing their job.
Yeah.
And that's what they do.
If I were a diligent cop who really had who was doing my beat with, attention to detail.
Be on my phone.
Well, I would be annoyed by my colleagues who are on their phones because they're making us look bad.
It also would stress me out because I'm thinking I'm going to be on my phone when something bad happens and I'm going to get blamed for it. It's going to hurt my job
I would have
situation.
a hard time with it. But
that's just selfishly.
That says a lot about our personalities, though. Like, I don't want to be the reason why someone gets away with something they shouldn't or why something bad happens to someone.
If you're not allowed to use your phone while driving, you shouldn't be allowed to use your phone while policing. Period.
Agree.
Move on.
Okay, moving on. You were marveling at some point in the past few weeks, Andy, how crazy it is that from far away, even if someone has sunglasses and a hat on, if it's a celebrity or someone you barely know, you can still think, I know that person.
Isn't that incredible? There are 8+ billion people on Earth.
Yeah.
And if I'm walking down the street in some foreign country and I see a guy who I worked with 20 years ago, who I kind of was casually said hi in the morning once in a while.
Yeah.
I'll instantly know him, even after he's aged 20 years.
I'm going to be honest. I think this is you. I think you're a bit better at this than me. I'm not great. I can have met a person, but if they didn't make an impression on me, on an emotional, conversation level, I sometimes don't really remember them.
Can we just allow you to be the exception of the rule?
Sure,
I think I'm more common.
I'm going to add to this that I think we humans have a tendency to be better at remembering the faces of people of our own race. Can I say this?
That's true. I think that's true.
Yeah, like,
but that's besides the point.
All I'm saying is that every half Asian person I have ever met, no matter their ethnicity, I know it.
Oh, I
very
feel
well.
the same thing with Jews. I can spot a Jew I've met 30 years ago anywhere in 2 seconds.
I don't know if that's like kosher to say or not, but I'm saying it because I think it's true.
I think it's a fact.
Yeah.
Like recognizes like.
It does.
Yeah. And often doesn't recognize not like. But that's not the point. My point is that out of the 8+ billion people on Earth, I can spot one in a crowd that I just tangentially knew long ago. Think about how insane that is. Like when you
do
look
you think AI is not at that level?
Okay, but
face recognition now.
Okay, but AI does like 20 trillion calculations a second. That's not fair. You're comparing yourself to a supercomputer. I mean, we're an animal. Like when you look at those National Geographic shows of like 200,000 penguins in a colony.
Yeah.
And they're all walking around. And
they know which one is their mate.
They make a sound like, Wah!
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that's it. Here it is. And they find it. And
that
you
makes
say
me believe in something. I gotta say, that's just a beautiful thing.
Well,
isn't it
shows how specific DNA is. It shows how like you are trained to recognize the most unbelievably subtle details in the face, in the eyebrows,
or in the body, the movement,
just nuance, vibe, someone's vibe. Sometimes I'll see someone walking from behind, and I'll be like, I know that walk.
Yes,
it's wild. I've spotted celebrities without seeing their face just by the way they move.
Wow. This brings me back to when we had dinner recently at a bar at a pretty nice restaurant, and we were eating at the bar because we didn't want to do the prix fixe price.
Yeah,
but it's a good value actually to eat at the bar there.
Yeah, it really is a good value.
But we sat next to, or the person who sat next to us rather, we thought was Paul Giamatti.
I mean, from the profile, it was 100% Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, and we may or may not have texted people being like, we're sitting next to Paul Giamatti.
And you know what? Ordinarily, I'd have a lot of shame having done that.
Yeah.
But in this case, it wasn't our fault. That was Paul Giamatti from the side. And from the front, it had just nothing to do with Paul Giamatti.
Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird to think that there are people on this planet who look that much like you from any angle or just in general?
There is probably someone on Earth who looks so much like you that if you were looking in a mirror and someone did a joke mirror where they just put that other person in there in the place of the mirror and you thought it was a mirror, but it's actually not a mirror.
Yeah.
You would be like, oh, okay. I'm good with that.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
If you could meet the person on this planet who looks the most like you, would you want to meet them and would you want to get to know them?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'd want to know if there's like a similarity. Like does your existence on this earth with this set of physical circumstances, does that get a certain result or is it 100% nurture?
I think it's at the very minimum, 25% of who you become is just exactly what you look like. That's not to say his parents could have done terrible things or amazing things and he turns out completely different or he had some horrible traumatic event early in life. But I do think as a baseline, the way you look, and it's not necessarily bad, like you could look terrible in some, just objective way. Like you're just like an evil, like you're like someone who in the movies is always the bad guy. Like
you said this to someone recently.
Yeah.
We were at another restaurant eating at the bar and you said to the bartender, you were like, are you an actor? And the guy was like, no. And you were like, you would make a great villain. You've got a villain's face. And I was like... And he was like, thanks, I think. And you're like, yeah, no, it's a compliment. And I was dying.
It's a compliment. He's got character.
Yeah, no, he did, but I wanted to disappear.
No, I know. But I had to say it. Sometimes things come up in like I feel them coming up and my brain's like, you can't say that. And there's something that overrides it. I'm not sure what organ that is, but I feel it. It's like a burp and I could suppress it. And my brain's saying, don't let that out, but I let it out anyway.
Living with you is never a dull moment because these things do come out of your mouth, even if I want to not be in the room when it happens.
Anyway,
he took it well.
He did. I knew he'd take it well. I read my audience very well.
You are very good at reading your audience.
I would not say that to everybody. I knew that guy could take it. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, he was.
But that being said, if you do look like that, like comic book villain, like you have a look that everyone looks at you like, oh, that's a bad guy.
Yeah.
That has to have an impact on who you become in life. It has to.
Yeah.
How can that not have an impact? What's great about people who look like villains in real life, but act nice and are sweet people, what's great about it is that they do always have a side that's attached to that villainous look, which makes them more of like, it's more of a nuanced character.
Okay. So on that note, because I do think I can look a little bitchy.
I've said this before and I'll say it again.
What?
In a horror movie, you die first.
Wait, me?
Oh, you're dead.
I
You
think,
are dead.
Wait, you think that I'm dying first, or am I more of a villain?
Well,
Wait, am I dying early in a vampire movie where I get to be a vampire for the rest of the movie?
You're definitely dying in the movie. And so am I. We're both dying.
I don't know if you're dying.
Really?
Yeah.
How do I not die in the horror movie?
I think you've got protagonist energy, and I think I have villain energy.
So you're saying I'm the guy at the end who's having the last one standing in the horror movie? I don't think so. I think I might be the second to last to die. You're the first. You're out of the gate. Like the credits aren't even over when you're dead.
Okay. Oh, we got talking about commercials recently, and I felt that commercials are waiting for the show to return. So like watching a show once a week. So White Lotus, Severance, these shows that you can't just watch all in one go, like on Netflix. I feel like it's good for you.
Absolutely.
To have to wait. The Bachelor, I love that about The Bachelor. Every single week you tune back in, and that the commercials also foster patience.
I couldn't agree more. The waiting trains you to enjoy the anticipation. What's in life, all there is anticipation. Either you're a Buddhist and you're just in the moment all the time.
Which is so hard.
Which is so impossible.
That's my dream. That's my goal.
Yeah, everyone's goal. It should be. A lot of people don't even know.
Although I probably shouldn't even call it a goal because it's a state of being.
It's a state. Yeah, you can't have that goal.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to have the goal. You just have to be. That aside, life is really about anticipation. Everyone wants to look forward to things and they want to anticipate, and they want to the patience you learn, the ability to delay satisfaction is so important now more than ever because of social media.
I'm going back to social media.
It's all back to everything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, think about the difference between waiting a week for White Lotus and waiting 1.3 seconds for the next TikTok video.
Or even just you're watching, I don't know, Love is Blind, and then the episode's done.
And just goes right into the next
into
one.
loading. And I know they come out in batches. You have to wait a week for the big cliffhanger moment. But still.
There's nothing I like more than waiting. It makes you human. That's what life is about. You're not supposed to get everything. Like, think about if an animal, like in the jungle, like a lion just walks up to a herd of zebra and all the zebra just drop dead in front of him. They're all just like, here, eat me. You got 500 zebras, eats himself until he's sick.
Yeah.
And then gets depressed because he doesn't hunt anymore.
Yeah. He didn't get to use that instinct.
All he does is eat and
Cheers, Andy.
Mud water.
Indeed, we are drinking our mud water. Our weekday afternoon pickup. I've told you before, there's like almost a script. I'm like, Andy. I say, Andy, just like that. And he says, mud water? He perks up.
One of your biggest acts of service during the week is getting me a piping hot cup of mud water.
Is that not a gift, Andy? Is that not a gift?
It's a gift and a service. You're right.
Okay. So, Andy, read off the ingredients for our shandies.
Masala chai, cacao, lion's mane, cordyceps, chaga, reishi, cinnamon, turmeric, Himalayan salt.
Isn't that so delicious?
Which one of those don't you like?
What would not exactly?
I'd have any one of those.
And can I just say, there's actually a place near us that sells like fancy. I mean, there's a lot of places that sell fancy coffee drinks. Do you know how much you would spend for like a turmeric chai? It would be like $7-8 in the city.
There have been many days where I was like, "There's no way I'm getting this stuff done today. I'm done. This is it. It's 2:30, and this is the end. My productive hours are over." And you come out with a mug of mud water. I get a whole new day.
You're like, boom, 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 boom.
So ready to make the switch to cleaner energy? Head to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today.
Right now, our shandies get up to 43% off your entire order, plus free shipping, plus a free rechargeable frother when you use code Shandy.
That's up to 43% off with code Shandy at mudwtr.com.
After you purchase, they'll ask how you heard about them. Support Dear Shandy and tell them we sent you.
Keep your energy natural and refreshing all year long with mud water.
Because life's too short for anything other than clean, delicious energy.
Mud water. They took out the A&E because they don't have time for that. So, Charlene, yesterday we had a whole day out, morning to night.
Yes.
And we brought Ruby for the trip. You know why we could bring Ruby?
Because we had her food in a handy dandy little baggie.
And what food was that?
Sundays.
Nice. Yeah. All right, we're done.
Well, and we didn't make any sacrifices because let's be honest, most kibbles on the market are kind of disgusting. Like if you look at the ingredient list, I don't want to sound judgy, but look at the ingredient list for your average kibble and think, oh, is that something that a living, breathing creature should be eating every single day?
Is that even something you'd feed to a squirrel?
No, exactly.
Or a pigeon?
What makes Sundays so special is it's human-grade dog food. So think the nutrients, the health benefits of 90% meat, 10% superfoods, and no artificial additives, but it's air-dried. air dried. So it functions in your life like kibble. So you can even hear, sounds like kibble, right? Actually, I'll insert a little video of us. This is me feeding her dinner when we were out yesterday. I brought sundaes, the amount that she normally eats. I was able to just sort of like feed it to her on the go. It was so convenient. She loved being out with us all day and not having to be like whisked back home.
And most importantly, Ruby is obsessed.
Obsessed with it. And it agrees with her, by the way. It agrees with her skin, her coat, her poops. You know, she's healthy when she eats it. It's obvious.
Nothing goes
and
wrong
she
when
loves
she's
it.
eating
She's
sundaes.
like obsessed with it.
She's obsessed. So get 40% off your first order of sundaes.
Go to sundaesfordogs.com/Shandy or use code Shandy at checkout.
So Charlene, spring is here.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we do during spring?
We clean out our closets.
And what are we cleaning out with Rocket Money?
Our wallets.
Yes. And what's in our wallets?
Subscriptions.
No, money.
Okay.
And why is that money in our wallets?
Because we worked hard for it and we want to hold on to it and not spend it in ways we don't even realize with subscriptions that we forgot about or don't even use.
No. Because Rocket Money allowed us to cancel subscriptions that then put the money into those wallets.
Yes. Honestly, saving money, how is saving money any worse than making money?
Saving money is more satisfying than making money. Because making money, you have to work.
Meanwhile, with Rocket Money, with just a few taps, you can cancel your unwanted subscriptions or subscriptions. Let's say you signed up for a free trial and then you forgot about it. You don't even use the thing. You're bleeding that money. Why not use Rocket Money to identify and cancel those subscriptions? Plus, they monitor your spending.
Every time I get one of those emails, I feel good. I feel good that someone's watching over me.
And what I think is possibly the coolest Rocket Money features, they will help lower your bills. So they will automatically scan your bills and then negotiate lower bills for you. And they will even deal with customer service.
What?
I know.
Saints.
Every time I do a Rocket Money ad, I'm like, what? Really? Customer service?
So Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions.
Saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features.
So cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money.
That's rocketmoney.com/Shandy, rocketmoney.com/Shandy, rocketmoney.com/Shandy.
All he does is eat and fuck.
I also think that patience is one of the most important traits for us, for people.
It is the most important. I work on it all the time. I have very bad patience situation. It's one of my worst traits.
I will say,
my toxic trait.
It is your toxic trait. I think that I appreciate that I'm able to be honest with you about it, because you'll have a moment where you're like, and Andy gets this like kind of like road rage style episode about something. It's always patience related. I'll be like, Andy, stop being so impatient, and you're like. And I can tell it lands. And I appreciate that. Because it would be easy for you to just be like, no, I'm not. I've dated the guy that's like, no, I'm not.
Ugh. I've been walking the streets at night, just trying to make it right. It's hard to see with so many around. You know I don't like being stuck in the ground, but the name don't change and maybe
what is going
I ain't got time for the way because I need you. Whoa, because I need you. Oh, I need you. Oh, I need you this time. Oh, crap. I realized the word patience doesn't come in again. It's the end of the song. It's Patience by Guns N' Roses.
I was like, where is the payoff coming?
Yeah,
so is the song called Patience?
Patience.
Oh. That was still beautiful. We all enjoyed it, Andy. Beautiful serenade.
Patience. Guns N' Roses. Can I just, one quick aside?
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, I don't care what anybody says. Best rock band of the last 30 years. No questions asked. No questions asked.
Can we play a game where I don't even know what game I would play in this. Like, I don't know if I could name one Guns N' Roses song.
Yes, you can. Paradise City. Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want, and we know the names. We are the people that you find wherever you may go. If you got the money, honey, we got that in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. What?
Vaguely.
Really?
Vaguely.
Are you kidding me?
I'm sure if I heard the actual song, I'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard that. Okay, do another one. That was beautiful.
Oh, okay. Wow.
It's only because you made such a big deal that I'm like holding you to this.
November Rain? That's late Guns N' Roses.
I feel like I might know this one. Okay, sing it.
Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls
very
are
famous.
pretty.
Yeah, I know that.
Won't you please take me home?
Was that November Rain?
That's Paradise City. Yeah. No. November Rain has Paradise City. In
This
the
is a disaster.
Anyway, nothing lasts forever, and we both know hearts can change. Nothing holds a candle in the cold November rain. No?
Is that the most recognizable part of that song?
Kind of.
See, I feel like November Rain, I feel that name of that song. I'm like, oh yeah, I think I would know that. And whatever you just sang didn't do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a very poor rendition. But still, I think most people probably, if they knew the song,
really?
They get that. Yeah.
Okay, so should I be embarrassed right now?
No, it's fine. You just don't know respect for Guns N' Roses, the greatest rock band in the last 30 years. She's got eyes that it seems to me remind me of childhood memories, and everything was as bright as a bright blue sky.
That's Guns N' Roses?
Yeah.
I definitely know that one. That's the
Sweet
most...
Child of Mine.
Yeah, that one's super famous. I know that one.
Now and then when I see your face, it takes me away to that special place. And if I stay too long, I'll probably break down and cry.
Okay, so how are we getting all that? Patience. And then before that, commercials. And then we got talking, okay, I can do this, about how now commercials suck, except for Progressive.
Oh, Progressive's amazing. It's the only one that doesn't suck.
Stop you from becoming your parents. Those are the best commercials.
That's the best.
Because now there's no point in making good commercials anymore. I feel like all that money, all the brain power of that goes towards like social media marketing and stuff. Yeah. And in the old days, you got your something da 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 da. Fresco's da-da-da-da. With Fresco's nothing gets to you. Day in fresh, day in cool. With Mentos fresh and cool of life. Fresco's better. Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresco's better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Okay. That's great. That's a great song. One of the best. Not as good as, come on, we know what the best commercial song of all time was.
Oh,
the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
So good.
Honey, can't get better than that.
Are there any others? If you have a something settlement and you need cash.
If you have a something settlement and you need cash now. A.G. Wentworth, 877 right now.
Yeah, okay, that made me officially fall in love with Larry David when he put that into a Curb episode. Okay, anyway, Patience.
How psyched was the 877 right J.G. Wentworth people with that Curb?
Although, sure are they still around though? J.G. Wentworth?
Are they still around?
Are you sure?
I think they're at their peak. They're in their prime right now.
J.G. Wentworth, 877 right now.
You're joking.
Is that the phone number?
You think J.G. Wentworth is 100% still around?
Okay, let's see. J.G. Wentworth.
They're like they've never been better.
They've never been better.
They're finally hitting their stride.
Oh wow! I thought J.G. Wentworth was like one of those injury attorney.
No, they're like
firms.
they're a company that gives you cash like instantly for things that you have to wait for.
Okay, wow.
So if like you got a settlement, if you had as the song goes, if you had a something settlement and you need cash now, J.G. Wentworth 877 right now. So if you need cash now, they give it to you.
I will say,
but they give you a huge discount. So let's say you won $1 million for tripping on someone's sidewalk or something.
Yeah.
They give you like $500,000 and then they wait for the money to come. So they're like, basically it's like a reverse insurance.
Isn't that crazy? There's a business for everything.
Yeah.
J.G. Wentworth.
That's a huge business. That actually is big business for it in all aspects of life.
Because the people don't want to wait for their money.
Yeah.
But what they get
in business too.
They get less money.
Sometimes you have an invoice, like let's say you sell someone 20 cars or something, and they owe you in 30 days. They owe you $1 million. You can go to a company that'll give you $850,000.
So you give up $150,000 to get it right away.
If you really need, if your cash flow is really tight, that's probably a little better terms than that. Maybe for 30 days. It's probably like $950 they'll give you. Okay. But still, it's still a lot of money.
Yeah, and you might really want that money right away.
That just shows you money now is more valuable than money later.
Tomorrow.
Way more valuable.
Yeah. And that's why when you get a 0% APR offer on something, you should do it. I learned that from you.
Yes.
I did that with my PlayStation 5.
You financed your PlayStation 5?
I did. Well, it was no interest for a year. And so I just put it like it was amazing.
No,
I didn't even notice.
Good for you.
I would have either paid a lot of
that.
money and like really felt it.
How much is a PlayStation 5?
It was like $500, between $500 and $600.
Huh, okay. Yeah. No,
fine. Do you have thoughts on that?
I do.
Are you
but
judging
I'm not
how I spend
here.
my money?
No, I think it's great. I like that you're doing that. I like how good you've gotten with knowing money stuff since we've met.
I thought you were going to judge me spending that kind of money on video games.
Oh no, come on.
Andy knows I spare no expense.
No one loves video games more than children.
Yeah. Oh,
I would never. Are you kidding? I thought you were going to say like $2,000.
Oh no. The amount for the hours of enjoyment I get out of it. Anyway,
now a PlayStation is $2,000.
What do you mean?
I mean, as of like a couple of weeks ago. No, we won't go there. We're not going to go there.
Oh,
Andy.
Right, forget it. I just want to point out that JG Wentworth has rebranded and looks fantastic. And they have a 5 stars on Trustpilot with 15,623 reviews.
You think a company with that kind of jingle isn't a good company?
Okay, all right. Also not sponsored,
by the way. That rises to the level of song. I could listen to that in the car.
Yeah. Same with Mentos. The Mentos is, I think Mentos is my favorite jingle.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have one more thought on commercials.
Yeah.
Okay, on patience. I feel like having commercials, being forced to be patient, not only is it the patience, but it trains you to deal with distraction. Because I feel like we are so distractible now. Like I'll go upstairs and be like, I don't know what I came up here for.
I
open my phone. I'm like, I don't know what I opened my phone
that.
for. I go to my computer. I open a new tab. I'm like, what was I opening this for? It's actually really
most
upsetting.
times I go upstairs. I forget most times.
Yeah. And all I'm saying is that I think when you watch a show and then a commercial comes in and you actually watch the commercial or you have to wait through the commercial or pause, it forces you to put a pin in what you were doing and what you were focusing on then come back to it.
Yeah, continuity with interruption.
Yes.
I think that's an important skill.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Andy, I think that's it for today.
Oh, I thought we were going to do one more.
Oh, what do you want to talk about?
I thought you said we were going to do one more.
No, we don't have to. I mean, I don't really have you want me to really say what's next on this list?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know if it's sidebar worthy. It's Fingerling Potatoes.
Oh, that's extremely sidebar worthy.
Really?
Maybe the most worthy question yet.
Is it a question? Tell them what you think of fingerling potatoes, Andy.
Fingerling potatoes is not a good form of potato.
Okay. You think it's the weakest? It's
the weakest of all potatoes. Mashed is clearly number one. Some people would argue fried, French fries is up there, but I'm not. For health reasons, I feel like,
but I don't know if mashed potatoes are that much healthier than French fries.
Butter is not as unhealthy as fry. I think, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think factually.
Okay.
I mean, it depends if you eat a whole stick of butter, obviously, and there is often a whole stick of butter in mashed potatoes. So maybe you're right. But I say mash, fry, home fry.
Okay. I think you like home fry before fry.
A full baked potato. Yeah. With the fixins if you want that. And underneath that is fingerling. Fingerling doesn't have the texture, the consistency. It doesn't hold the flavor.
Yeah, you're right. It's too much potato.
And then they'll throw like a twig of rosemary or thyme on it and think that's no. It's just fingerling potatoes with a twig on it.
Okay, fingerling potatoes fail. Yes. Are we ready to wrap, Andy? Okay. Yeah. If you enjoyed what you heard today, you know what we will ask of you, and that is to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow us on Instagram and
TikTok,
leave us Apple and
Spotify
podcast ratings and reviews, tell your friends, and generally do all the things you would do to support a podcast you enjoy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we have a puppy now. Ruby, no hearts can change. Come on, boo boo. Yes. Oh, she likes mommy's nails. Yes.
Come on.
Oh, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Dear Shandy. Bye bye.